And welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. It is always a joy and a pleasure to promote our student athletes throughout Waller County, Texas, and beyond. Today is no exception to the rule. We are so fortunate to have on the line with us the head football coach of the Hempstead Bobcats, and that is none other than Coach MARQUIS WESLEY. How you doing, sir, and welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you. This is your first time coming around to being here with us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just to bring you a little bit up to speed, we are proud partners with the community for covering our local high schools. Been doing it, at least attempting to do it, going into our 21st football season. So since 2002, we've been trying to do this thing, man, and we're just excited to have you part of the fold.
Yes, sir. It's awesome to be a part of something so wonderful.
Well, we want to get people introduced to Coach Wesley and how you ended up in wonderful, heavenly Hempstead, Texas, and give us a little background on how you landed here, sir.
Well, first and foremost, I think it was God. I've had the privilege of being in this profession for 15-plus years, and I have had several stops at different schools, and Hempstead kind of came open, and I prayed about it and spoke with my family, and got an opportunity to come here, and I am excited to be the athletic director and head football coach here at Hempstead.
Yes, sir. Well, it has been a journey, and we all have these journeys, which is why we try to tell that story, or have you tell your stories through the network, because no matter what level you're on, you have to put in hard work, you have to put in consistency, and there has to be a sense of dedication. And when you do that with the coaching experience that you bring into the Bobcats, what was the first thing that you looked at and say, this is what I can work with to get this thing off the ground?
I saw a sense of urgency from the kids. When I first got here, I got to meet the kids, and that's why I got in this profession, and really just seeing the kids and their eagerness to want to win. They've had some struggles in the past, and they every time you looked at a kid, you saw that his passion and his commitment to just wanting to win. Then you look at the community. We saw some things this football season, even though it didn't go the way we wanted it. We had kids and people that really rallied around us and was very supportive. And that was my main motive, is being able to turn this place around, to get it back on track the way it used to be, and have people forever with Bobcat football.
Yes, sir. Now, the one unique thing about being in a rural setting, you don't have the depth that you may be accustomed to with larger 5A, 6A, even 4A programs. How do you overcome that, and is it harder for you to find those guys that can go two ways for you?
Well, I think one of the neat things is, I got to play at Navasota, and it was a thing that we did. We played both sides of the ball at 18-4A, and I think it's a very unique here. We having the smaller numbers, it does kind of puts limits on us a little bit. However, the kids are able to get as many reps as they need. They're able to get the exposure they need. Some of them may be exceptional at one position on offense, but then all of a sudden they get some exposure for the next level on the defensive level, defensive side of the ball. So that kind of helps us with, just making sure that these kids are being marketed out for the best of them so they can go to the next level.
Yes, sir. Now, one thing about it, although Hempstead historically has been a small program, but they have had some legends come through those programs. One of the latest ones happens to be suited up for the Denver Broncos. Good night, I'm mercy. Name is slipping me right now. Good Lord of mercy. Oh, Turner Yale. Turner Yale has had a successful run with the Broncos, went to Oklahoma, and Harvey Williams and a lot of legends that come through that program. So they're not strangers when it comes to having success on the gridiron. And when you come through that and your numbers are small, and I know that does it affect the schemes that you are maybe accustomed to running, that you might see that you have to start running now?
It does to a point. One of the things that we see that we can't go the up tempo offense that we really want to do. what we were no huddle, up tempo, kind of get people off guard. Well, when we're having to rest kids at different spots, so that really it hurts us and it puts us in a bind for the most part. Like I said, having smaller numbers. But one of the things that we did see this year where we did have a lot of kids that played both sides, and that's a little tough. And one of our things that we plan to do this next year is making sure that our defensive kids are rested through our offense, and then vice versa with defense. So our kids are being able to get quality reps and not have to be so exhausted.
Okay. Now, one thing, I'm about to date myself when I say this. When you have smaller numbers like that, and I don't know why we don't do it, even though we're doing it, wouldn't it be more advantageous for reserving the players that you do have to go with the old triple option look? Because it's that we just call it a different look. We just spread everybody out and we just call it a spread. But doesn't it seem like that would be more of a, even with your numbers of the lines as far as blocking schemes, to work to your advantage?
It does. And that's one of the things that, we want to, is it's slowing down. So having the opportunity to be able to huddle, having the, we're not having to do so much personnel changes. I think those are very important. You think about, maybe establishing a tight end instead of having 3 or 4 wide receivers, having maybe a tight end and 2 backs. So now we're able to give those kids that are playing both sides a little bit of rest. And then, we talk about like the power game. So now we're not having to do so much of the zone blocking as you see these days, but more of the man blocking. They're just kind of blocking down and solo blocks, which kind of helps our kids get a little bit more rest. And that we saw that towards the end of our season this past year, where we tried to kind of, we schemed different things to kind of help our kids, recover. When we had a lot of our skill kids that were really, really tired, we went more of our multi-set with tight ends and 2 backs. And then vice versa when our bigger kids got tired.
Right. Now, it seemed like the balancing act to that, even though the numbers are challenging, and in some cases facilities, that you do take advantage of the weight room. And I know it's tricky when you're dealing with kids on set incomes and whatnot, but teaching them how to eat properly to fuel their bodies to get that strength needed, huh?
Very much so, and that is one of our biggest things. And I am a big advocate for the weight room and strength and conditioning, stretching, flexibility, cardio. I think those things are what you need, especially when you don't have a lot of kids. And you see that a lot in 2A, 1A levels where they have a lot of kids going both ways. And how do you get over those humps? Is they have to be in shape. And that's, we do a lot of our 2-a-days in the heat. We come in at 4 o'clock and we're able to have that heat practice. And then as the sun goes down, so our kids are adjusted and acclimated to the heat as the season goes on. And then, we give them, advocate break, but we also know that we have to get them, in shape for being able to play 4 quarters and playing those multiple reps.
Absolutely. We're speaking right now with Coach MARQUIS WESLEY of the Hempstead Bobcats going into this 2023 season. Been some building blocks, some rough patches that the Bobcats have gone through of reset. But when you're looking at the future, it's got to be something encouraging and just telling the faithful just to hang in there and watch this thing get restocked, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Coach, when you look at your schedule, I don't know if you have it before you, can you let us know what your homecoming game would be? Is it Corrigan this season?
It will be Corrigan, Kansas. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's the date? Is that the 22nd of September?
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay. Well, as I say, if the Lord delays is coming and the creek don't rise, we definitely plan to be there for the broadcast and some other selected games with our Waller County game of the week. And we love to keep the open door to you. Traditionally, we have the coaches convene with us on Saturday mornings so we can do a Waller County Monday morning football show, and would like to know if you still will continue that tradition from Hempstead.
Yes, sir. We would love it. I think that the more exposure for our kids and that for them, that is what we need here at Hempstead. I'm delighted to be able to work with you and all your expertise in this county and all over the state of Texas, and we look forward to just doing those things with you.
Yes, sir. Well, we're definitely looking forward to it. Now, as we get ready, we're coming close because I value you guys' time and everything. When you are still filling your way out and building your teams, do you still find yourself on that recruiting mode? Maybe see a kid walking down the hall and say, "Hey, man, why aren't you out here on this football field?" Do you find yourself recruiting from time to time?
We do. We have. Most places I've been, we have one particular coach that does the recruiting coordinator. But we, with us having smaller numbers and a lot of kids have kind of lost their passion before we got here, we do it a lot. If I see a kid, on the campus, and we're advocating to get them out there and play all sports, but we want them to get out and just kind of play football and get Bobcat football back where it needs to be. And
okay.
So we do a big time of trying to get them out. Yes, sir.
Okay. And just for some of those who are listening right now, what are some of the numbers that you're looking at, and do you have enough to fill a freshman team out? So how many players do you think you would have on varsity, and how many on your freshman team?
Right now we're looking, we probably would average by about 40 to 45 on our varsity. And then we do have a JV team, and with our incoming freshmen coming in, along with some of our bubble kids that we've held over from our JV the previous year, we're looking at probably about the same amount of numbers, between 40 or 45 kids. This past year, we actually we were able to field the JV and varsity team the entire year, and we plan to do the same thing this year.
Okay, well, sir, we're definitely looking forward to the continued growth of Bobcat football here throughout the county and on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And I want to give you some closing thoughts and comments that you would like to share with the listening audience right now, sir. The floor is all yours.
One of the things I wanted to express to people is bring their kids back. If you've left and went to another school, bring their kids back, to bring them home. What we do here, we love kids here. We're going to coach them hard, and that's in all sports. I want all of our kids to thrive and to be very successful in whatever endeavor they have for their future. But we can do those things with numbers. We can do those things with kids who are going to work hard. And you tell our parents all the time, it's hard to, when you're sore, when it's hot outside, when it's challenging, it's hard to just give up. Pushing those kids out of that house, pushing them out of those bedrooms, get them up here to the school, and they'll see the result. And a lot of them have aspirations to get to the next level when it comes from hard work and dedication to their craft. And I don't care if it's baseball, softball, volleyball, whatever it is, having those kids buy in to our coaching staff and the hard work, and let's get things back to where it needs to be.
Okay, Coach, we're looking forward to it. There is an old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And we don't count the numbers, but we make the numbers count. So hear the Macedonia cry, Hempstead Nation, and those who have that can-do attitude, go on back out there and help support your Bobcats. Coach, I thank you again, sir, for making yourself available here at the Open Mic, and we look forward to the continued growth. Okay, my friend?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, he is Coach MARQUIS Wesley of the Hempstead Bobcats. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And please feel free to visit the website at obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.